Selamat datang di Knowledge Capture Pusdiklat Bea dan Cukai. Perkenalkan, saya Novi, dan kali ini kita di Pusdiklat Bea dan Cukai kedatangan tamu dari French Custom. Nah, setelah ini kita akan menyimak obrolan santai kita bersama French Custom dengan Bapak Patrick Mihoub. Mari kita simak obrolan kita. Welcome to Attaché Indonesia, Mr. Patrick Mihoub.
Terima kasih.
Selamat datang. Can you tell us about your main objective, the French Custom team, for your visit in Indonesia?
Yeah, thank you for receiving me and receiving us in your Customs Academy. We are here in the frame of a project of cooperation between French Customs and Bea Cukai, regarding and focusing on canine training, strategy and tactics. So we are working this week with the trainers in canine from Indonesian Customs, and we have made already a visit to France with a delegation of Indonesian Customs.
Yes.
And now it's our turn to bring the expert from France, so it will be a good opportunity to make a very fruitful exchange of experience and knowledge between both group of professionals.
Okay, we will talk it later for your cooperation project, I think. But can you tell us about what the main responsibilities of a custom canine unit in France?
Yeah, for the canine unit in France, there are almost three main responsibilities. First one is maintain the dog in a good health. This is the priority. The second one is train ourselves.
The dog handler.
Dog handler.
Yes.
Train ourselves and train the dog regularly to maintain a high level of experience and a high level of competence. Yeah. And the third one is very important also. Is we must always keep in mind that we have to work in a team, with a team spirit and in a team structure. Is very important. We never work alone. When we are a canine unit, we never work alone. Always inside the team. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the keywords, collaboration,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how do you train your canine dogs for custom duties? I hear that your canine dogs living with their dog handler.
Exactly.
Is it true?
Yeah, is it true? Is it true? It is a special culture and tradition we have. It's different from other countries. Some countries have different approaches, and our personal approach is that the dog lives with the handler 24/7. This is the strategy we have. But for training the canine, we have three main steps. The first is the school, so the academy, where we have our canine training center, national training center. The second step is the daily training. You know, the canine team and the handler has the duty to train regularly the dog, even during the time of service, when between two operational controls.
For day-to-day business,
again,
right?
Yeah, to maintain the level of experience, you know. And we have also implemented how we say that, maintenance training program. So the canine units, they have to go back to the school and to do the national training centers to make the maintenance training, to update the knowledge and the new technologies.
For continuous learning,
process,
right?
Yes, yeah, continuous learning. Yeah.
It's very interesting. What are the most common types of contraband that your canine unit addresses?
The first is the drugs, of course.
Yeah.
Different drugs, synthetic or other type of drugs. But we have also canine units specialized in currency detection.
Oh, right.
Tobacco detection. Also, because we have a lot of, we have a big problem in Europe and in France of tobacco smuggling. It's a very big criminal activity. So for us, it's one of the top priorities to fight against those criminal organizations. So we have implemented canine detection teams specialized to the tobacco smuggling. So it's very efficient. Also for the currency, it's very efficient. It works very well. And we have also the more classical contraband. It's not really contraband. We are more on the security and safety dimensions. It's the explosive detection. Of course, very important too, but much more for the security. Yeah.
Okay. You say that collaboration is the key, right?
Yeah.
For the dog handler and the canine unit dogs.
Yeah.
Can you share a memorable experiences or success story maybe involving your canine unit?
Yeah. I remember a case when I was working a few years ago, many years ago. I was working in an operational investigation teams, and we had a case of a criminal group who was working from Brazil to Africa, and they send containers with very big mechanical devices, big truck and vessel engines. So they ship them from Brazil to Africa, but the containers, they were in transshipment in France.
Yeah.
So we stopped them and we start to check, and first the colleagues on the port, they start to check it, but they say, wow, it's very complicated because the engine, they are in the containers, they are very big, it's very complicated to check inside.
A lot of parts.
Yeah, it was many years before, it was much more difficult to get a scanning operation, and the smell was very strong inside the container. Gasoline, oil, grease, dirt.
It's very challenging,
hard.
right?
Yeah, for us it was terrible, and okay, we decided to bring the dog, and some of the colleagues, they say, this is not possible, it's too smelly, it's stinking really. So it's
unbearable.
Really yeah,
it's very unbearable.
And there were several motors, engines, and I don't remember exactly, maybe it was 5 engines or something like this, and he found drugs in the engine, but only in 2 of the 3 other ones were empty, but he could find the drugs, he could detect the presence in 2 of the engines. So for us it was much more easy, and we could dismantle them. It was very complicated, but finally it helped us a lot. So the dog is always,
very good job.
Yeah, in many cases the dog makes the difference. This is what we want, what we have to remember.
It's big success story.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we would like to know that how does the collaboration between French and Indonesia custom authorities benefit for our both countries? You know, cooperative project.
Yeah.
You mean that?
Yeah, you know, the first time French customs met Indonesian customs was in 2023.
Okay.
Before, we never had official meeting. So the cooperation spirit and the cooperation relationship are very new, really new between our 2 administrations. And that's good because it means that everything is possible and we have everything to build. But it's a long way also, and it's a big work. You know, when we have such a situation, I think we have to first analyze what make us closer, what are the similarities between our countries, and what are the differences after that. Similarities, we are, both of us, we are a country with a big territory and a big maritime territory also. It's a big challenge for Indonesia and for France also. And we have the same problem of resources. We have big challenge, geographical challenge, and small resources. Always we are running out of resources. So this is one of the first similarity. Second similarity, you are receiving drugs in your country for sometimes the use of the people here, but also for transit. It's the same situation in France also. So those, for example, if we take those 2 key similarities, if we have the same challenges, we have to check, this is my personal view, we have to check both of our country, how we adapt ourselves to this challenge. This is very interesting. And you know, for example, since we arrived here, we have already seen seen many things interesting for us, and I have already planned to make a report to my HQ and to send and to focus on some approaches you have here and we don't have in France. Okay. I give you an example. You have implemented the mini labs in your custom systems. We don't have that. We have a central laboratory, and all the requests go there. And your system is much easier. Why you have this system? It's very interesting because, as your colleague said before, your country is so divided in islands. You are obliged to decentralize the system. It's very interesting. So this is one of the examples we could take, for example.
So it's a lot of lesson learned that French custom experiences in Indonesia, right?
Yes.
Now, I will talk about challenges. Yeah, what challenge do you face in your daily operation, and how do you overcome them as a custom attaché or canine unit long before?
I will talk about canine units first, because we are now in this thematics this week. The first challenge we meet now in France, I think you have the same problem, is the new drugs. We have new products, NPS, new product of synthase. This is a big problem because the dogs, sometimes they are not trained to get those new products who are updated and modified all the time. So it's a challenge we have. The other challenge, it's always the same, is the security of the dog and the safety and the health of the dog. You can see that canine units work in airport, port, post office. They are very difficult environment for human, but much more for the dogs. Chemicals, noise, many people. For dogs, it's very difficult. So this is the challenge we have to fight, because we have always to adapt our practice, especially the position of the dog, to those new challenges. This is the main challenge. And for customs attachés, it's a bit different. I will take my a personal example. I cover 8 countries from Bangkok. So it's a huge area, and sometimes it's too big for me, because there are so many opportunities of cooperation. We have to know everything, because Asia is not Europe, it's not France. There are two geographical areas so different.
Cultural difference,
cultural different, language, cultural codes, methodology, everything different. So we have to take time to know all those things. It's in the same time, it's very exciting and very amazing, but in the same time, it's difficult. It's a big challenge.
All right. I will talk about the canine dogs. The dog handler living with canine dogs. How do you ensure that well-being and health the canine dogs?
This is one of the purpose of the strategy we chose, that the dog will live 24/7 with the handler, because the handler will keep an eye all the time to the dog, will know much better each reaction of the dog, so he can be much quicker alerted if something wrong, because he knows, like a friend, close and say, oh, something wrong now. That's the first reason. And also, when the dog lives with the handler all the time, they know very well each other and they communicate much better. They don't speak, of course, but the handler understands much quicker and much better some reactions of the dogs, and he can fine-tune much better and more accurately the control sometimes, because sometimes the dog will pass and hesitating, and the handler knows exactly, say, oh, he's hesitating, but maybe there is something, because usually it's not like this.
The nature of the dog.
Exactly, that's very important. And also for the, of course, we have the veterinary
regularly
maintenance. Also, what is important, this is I don't know if you have this system. It could be interesting, for example, for you to inspire from what we have. The administration, customs administration, they give to the handler 5 hours a week of just wandering and relax time.
Free time.
To get free time
like
together, to have a promenade, we say, you know, wander in the nature, to play together, you know. Those 5 hours, they are taken on the duty time.
All right.
But this is, the administration considers that is very good investment for the efficacy and the efficiency of the training of the canine team, you know. And this is one good measure.
Yeah, it can be release the stress, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, you talk about differences that Indonesian custom and operation in French custom, like mini lab.
Yeah.
Do you notice another thing that you can learn about in Indonesia?
Yes. Yesterday we went to the airport and we have observed the work of the canine units, and they organize a check on the passengers. So they move the passenger and they give the orders to the people to stay in the line, very regular line, and they pass the dog. In France, we don't have that. We have no right. We have not the authorization, the legal authorization to do it. It's a European regulation.
System, right.
Yeah, we cannot pass a dog close to a person without any consent. Yeah, that's the problem. So we have a different way, and we release the dog, and he will run between the people and between the luggage. It's a different approach. This is the most important difference we have seen here, because, you know, we are customs. And there are much more similarities than difference all over the world. And when we come here, for example, for my colleagues, this is the first time they come to Indonesia. It's very far away from France. Yeah. But they find a lot of, they feel like in a family, because they find a lot of familiar stuff, you know. It's very interesting. Yeah.
Okay, interesting, right?
Yeah. That's interesting for everybody. That kind of project, that kind of experience, it's a really good benefit for everybody. The people who come, people who receive. Yes. This is really
maybe you can modify that. Can you adapt in your countries?
Yeah.
Okay. You talk about how nature, every dog has a difference, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell a story about how the dog handle the situation, or the dog handler, I mean, handle situation where their canine and the dog detects something suspicious? Right?
As I said before, canine unit never work alone. Never work alone. So, I mean, as soon as the canine unit detects something, we can say the work is done for the canine. Stop here, because what? He will work with a team. So when the dog detects something, this is the duty of the team to continue the work. So, for example, let's take the example of a vehicle. The dog detects somewhere something, sit down, is here. So now this is not the job of the canine handler. The unit goes and start to check if there is something. But what is very important, for example, if you take the example of the track, security, very important. When the dog smells something and start to detect something, it's an alert for all the units regarding the people, for example, the driver and the environment, because maybe we can be sure that there is something. So it changes complete situation. Right. So people must start to be alerted and warned, and they will start to search, but in the same time to keep an eye on the driver. It's that kind of example. But usually, globally, when the canine unit detects something, we handle the situation as the way that they stop the work of the dog and start another work.
So it's about collaboration team.
Yeah, always.
To another unit.
Yeah, right. Always.
Okay, this is the last question, Mr. Patrick. What advice will you give to someone when they are interested joining a custom canine unit?
First to like the dogs, the relationship. It's not easy. Huh? Yeah. Not everybody likes that, and not everybody is used to that. When you see a canine unit, it's very interesting. You see the people here, the canine handler here Canada and France, you see the same behavior with between dog and person. You know, that's very interesting. Donc this is the first point. The second point is that they must, the handler must be reactive, must adapt
Fast
himself.
response.
Yeah, fast response, fast understanding, open-minded, because he must interpret the reaction of the dogs and not interpret his own reaction. He must let the dog give the signal. You know, it's not so easy sometimes.
See objective that the dog wants.
Yeah, that's very important. And also, as I said before, always be capable to work in team. Always. For us, a good dog handler is a dog handler who is able to integrate himself or herself inside the team. The people who work alone, usually they are not so good. They want just the success, but it doesn't work. Not always. But, wow.
Love dog, a team, worker as team. Yes, right. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mr. Patrick.
My pleasure.
It's very nice to talk and chat with you. Hopefully you get something in Indonesia and hopefully enjoy time in Indonesia.
A lot. I love Indonesia.
Okay.
So I will come back for sure.
Okay.
For work. And I have the chance that I have to work in Indonesia, but it's not a difficult obligation because I love the country.
Okay.
So, and there's so many things to see in this country. So many things. Maybe we need several lives to see everything. So
Yes.
I'm very happy that I will have time for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.